Whilst this online medium can't replace the work we do directly with each other, student and teacher face to face, it is still beneficial to be led in the practice of yoga, reminded of the aspects that we've forgotten on the way. Here I hope you will find inspiration and confidence in the real work of self-practice, alone on your mat, exploring the wisdom of your sadhana.
Welcome. This is a practice that was inspired this morning. I ran a little workshop here and we were talking about what it is that inspired us to begin practicing yoga. And for me, it was the Shivananda Yoga practice. And I bought a book and it had some practice pages in it, and I simply opened the book and I began to do the asanas, all of which I recognised from the couple of months of classes that I've been going to at that stage. And that book then propelled me onto a regular self-practice. So I thought it would be rather sweet and rather nice to have a look at that Shivananda practice together. Some of you will have worked with Della on a Saturday morning when she runs her Pure Shivananda intensives, which are lovely. And if you haven't been, then look up Della Lubeck here on the island and go and book one. But for now, come to a seated position on your mat. If you need a block underneath your bottom, then honour that. Most of us are more comfortable if the hips are a little bit higher than the knees. And then just take your hands down to your knees or to your lap, wherever feels comfortable, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and let go with a soft sigh through your mouth. Become aware of the support of the ground beneath you. Let your sitting posture feel steady, and let there be strength within your spine. The muscles are relaxed and yet alert. Just taking a moment to breathe yourself into your body and into this moment. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, bring your hands in front of your heart. Let's chant one Om together. Breathe in. Om. And keeping the hands resting on the hands or the knees. We'll take Anuloma Viloma, the alternate nostril breathing technique. Make Vishnu Mudra, take your right hand up and turn down the first two fingers, and use your thumb to block off your right nostril and your ring finger to block off your left. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale and empty your lungs completely. And block off your right nostril with your thumb. Inhale through the left nostril for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Block off both nostrils and hold your breath. Holding the breath now just for a count of 12. And then release your thumb and breathe out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Stay here, breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Block off both nostrils and hold for 12. Release your finger, breathe out left for 8. Inhale left for 4. Hold the breath, both nostrils pinch lightly together for 14. And then breathe out to the right for 8. Inhale right for 4. Pinch both nostrils lightly together, hold for 14. Release your finger, breathe out left for 8. Inhale left for 4. Hold the breath for 16. Breathe out right for 8. Inhale right for 4. Hold the breath for 16. And breathe out left for 8. When you finish, release the hand back down towards the knee. Keep the eyes closed for a moment. Allow your breath to return to a relaxed abdominal rhythm. And just turn your gaze inwards and enjoy a moment of stillness and quiet. Observing what is and what is not being felt or thought within. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And exhale through into your fingertips. Inhale, reach taller still. And exhale and gently release. Roll over onto your hands and your knees. Turn your toes under, hip distance apart. And just roll your heels down towards the mat and take a moment to hang very passively over your legs. Take a breath in, release the hands, and as you exhale, slowly roll up to standing, rolling around the belly, around the heart, around the throat, until you find yourself standing tall at the front of your mat. Step Tadasana, have the toes together, the feet slightly apart, the heels slightly apart, and stand tall on your mat, finding the place for the crown, the heart, the pelvic floor, and the ankles align. Inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears, and exhale, take your shoulders down your back, palms facing forward. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press down into your feet. As you inhale, lift a little taller through your crown. And exhaling, bring your hands in front of your heart. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, take the hands above your head. And exhale, draw your hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch through the front of your body, be long through the arms and strong through your legs. Exhale, bow forward over your legs, chin towards the chest. Inhale, take the right leg back and drop the knee to the floor and look up. Hold the breath if you can into the press-up position. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the floor and slowly lower down to the earth. As you inhale, open the chest, lift the gaze. And as you exhale, turn the toes under and press back into the downward facing dog. This is the first one. You might want to just bend your knees and hang your head. Pushing from the elbow into the index finger.
Feeling long from the heel of the hand up to your sitting bones. And then when that feels nice, come high on your tippy toes, look forward. And inhale and step the right foot forward between your hands, helping it if needs be. Drop the back knee, look up on an in-breath. On an out-breath, step forward, knees can be bent, just needs to feel nice and fold. Inhale, push down through your heels, reach the arms up, stretch through the front body. And exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale, hands come above the head, look up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch through the front of your body. And as you exhale, coming forward again, if the knees need to be bent, then let them bend. Inhale, take your left leg back and drop the knee to the floor and look up. Hold the breath if you can into a press up position. Exhale, knees to the floor and lower gently down. Keep the thighs grounded. Inhale, come into a gentle heart opening cobra. And as you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Now you might find that as you warm up, you can begin to straighten the legs, hanging the head. Settling into the breath, spreading the toes wide on the mat. And reaching from the back of the knee down through the calf. Lifting from the inner knee up into the groin. A deep breath in. And on the out breath, come high on the tippy toes, push the floor away. Looking forward, inhale and step the left foot forward between your hands and look up. As you breathe out, step your right foot forward and bow over your legs. Inhale, reach up, bring the hands to touch. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more round. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhaling, coming forward. Inhaling, right leg goes back, knee to the floor, look up. Hold the breath if you can into a press up position. And this time, see if you can take knees and heart to the floor, keeping the bottom up. Inhale, roll forward, keep dropping the shoulders down towards the elbows, collarbones wide. Then exhale and press back to the dog face down. Breathe. The spine is long, head is relaxed, and the tongue is soft in the mouth. With each out breath, there's a subtle hollowing of the lower belly and a natural toning of the pelvic floor. On the next out breath, come high on your tippy toes. And on the in breath, step the right foot forward between the hands and look up. Exhaling, left foot comes forward and bow. Inhale, reach up, bring the hands to touch. And exhale, the hands come to the heart. Inhale, hands come above the head. And exhale, the hands come to the heart. Inhale, reach through, push down through your inner foot. And exhale and come forward over your legs. Inhaling, left leg goes back, knee to the floor, look up. Hold the breath if you can into a press up position. And exhale, knees and hearts to the floor. Keep the bottom up if you can. Inhale, flow through. Get length in your spine before you try to arch back. And then exhale to the dog face down. Now if you're getting tired, then you might want to just drop the knees to the floor and work with your puppy dog, extending the arms forward and relaxing the forehead down. Alternatively, if you're happy, stay working here. trying not to fidget, trying to cultivate a little bit of stillness. While internally there are still all of the little micro adjustments that are happening. The extending from the elbow into the index finger, the drawing of the collarbones towards the tops of the feet, the lifting from the inner knee up into the inner sitting bone, the sacrum softening towards the pubic bone. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come high on the tippy toes, looking forward. Inhale and step the left foot forward between the hands and look up. Exhale the right foot forward as you bow. Inhale, reach up, bring the hands to touch. And exhale the hands to the heart. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Stepping to the back of your mat. Gently come down onto your knees. And allow yourself a moment to take rest in the pose of the child. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, roll slowly up to kneeling. Now, one of the nice things about this sequence is that you are invited to come into Shavasana, the headstand, while you're still feeling nice and strong. So, quite often it's put at the end of sequences, certainly in the Ashtanga sequence, and very often in Iyengar practices it's towards the end. But here we get to do it right at the beginning while it's fresh. So, regardless of where you are in your headstand, just come through the basics with me, and we won't go up straight away. And if you're new to it, then you can stay with this until you feel strong and steady and secure before moving through the latter steps. So to begin with, take your hands and wrap them around the opposite elbow. And take the elbows to the floor, about 6 inches in front of your knees. Clasp your hands together and tuck the bottom little finger in so it doesn't get crushed. And consciously press down, it's almost like a chopping action. Press your forearms down into the floor and don't let your elbows go any wider at heart. You're then going to turn your toes under and push down through those forearms and keep your head off the mat for a moment, hanging the head and lifting your sitting bones, pushing your sitting bones away from you through the action, the strong action of pushing down through the forearms. Take breaths here. And in this way we're cultivating the strength through the shoulder girdle that we'll need to support us in the full headstand. And then bring the knees to the floor and take rest for a moment in the pose of the child. Okay, you can stay with that work. Otherwise, you can come up with me or go as far as you can through the steps to bring you towards Shavasana. There's benefit all the way along. And so wherever it is you get to, stay there and breathe. Try and hold it for between 5 or 10 breaths and cultivate steadiness wherever it is you get to. Elbows down. Press the forearms firmly down in a chopping action. Turn the toes under, push down, float your knees off the mat, and then take the crown of your head to the floor and support the back of your head with your wrists. Walk your feet in towards you, lift up through your sitting bones, and if that's enough, stay there. If you want more, bend your knees and bring your knees in towards your chest, and there's lots of benefits from working here. If you want to go further, you can take the knees towards the ceiling And finally coming up into full Shavasana. Roots of the big toes press together, roll the inner thighs back, push down through the elbows, lift the ribs back and up. And breathe. No fancy variations here, but if you're happy with working with variations, then you can always stop the video and do whatever it is you want and rejoin us when you're ready. When you're ready to come down, heels come to the bottom, knees come to the chest, feet come to the floor. And let's come into Shavasana and take rest. So take your hands forward, cross your ankles, and come to lying on the earth in Shavasana. Lots of lovely places to rest in this sequence, balancing the yang of the active asana and the yin of the restorative Shavasana. So the next asana in the sequence is shoulder stand. So bring your legs together. I'm just going to slide the cushion a bit further down from there. Bring your legs together and bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing down the mat. Towards your feet, palms down. Exhale. Soften the knees, draw them towards your chest, and as you inhale, roll your bottom off the mat and bring your hands to your back. Your legs can be at 45 degrees. As you work the hands as far down and the elbows close together. And then we lift. And we'll hold it for 5 breaths. Sacrum pressing forward towards the pubic bone. Heart lifting up over the throat. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, taking both legs down towards the floor, clasping the fingers together and stretching the arms down towards the mat. If your feet don't come to the floor just yet, you could practice just taking one down as far as you can, keeping the hands on the back, coming back up, taking the other leg down. Or if you're near a sofa, you might want to just lower your feet down onto the seat of the sofa. Then we're going to come directly into your fish. So link your thumbs together, press your palms down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower your back down on top of your straight arms. You can unhook your thumbs when the weight of your body secures your arms. And lower your feet down to the floor. You inhale, you sit up on your elbows and you look at your feet. Tipping the pubic bone down and lifting the heart up. Coming back onto the crown of the head and taking 5 breaths here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale and sit up. Taking the flesh away from your sitting bones. Hands come down towards the feet. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, coming forward over the legs. And if you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. But breathe width into your back on the in-breath. And length into your spine on the out-breath. Feeling the pubic bone dropping gently forward, keeping your feet vaguely square with each other, and maybe tipping the ball of your foot a little bit further forward than your heel. And just taking what you've got here. Don't be competitive with an image or a story that you might have about this shape in your head. Just work with what you've got. And accept that with patience and with humility. Letting your focus and your attention foster your tenacity, your strength and your courage. No tension in the neck. And inhale and look up. And exhale and release. Pulling onto your belly, crossing the ankles, and lying down on the mat. Exhale. And as you inhale, pull on your hands and let your spine become really long. And come up just to your happy place, the Goldilocks place, where it's just right. And very often I find that about 80% of your full capacity is a sweet place just to reassure the body and become really familiar with it rather than going right to your edge with gritted teeth and determination. You've got nowhere else to explore, nowhere else to go then. And when you're ready to come down slowly through heart, through chin, through forehead, and maybe make a little pillow to rest your forehead on. So Shavasana, we'll work with the easier variation. Legs together, bring the arms beside your body with the palms facing up. Anchor the back of your hand and pull as if you were going to pull them forward. And because they can't go forward, but the shoulders go back. Zip the legs, lengthen from your belly button into your toes, float your legs off. And then lengthen from your belly button into your crown and lift your heart off. All the time lightly pulling through the backs of your hands and breathing deeply. Enjoying this strengthening work through the whole posterior chain of your muscles, of your back. Inhale and exhale and come down. Once again, take rest. Okay, down your asana, the bow. Bend your knees, take your hands back and take hold of your feet. Don't have the knees too wide or the feet too wide, no wider than your hips. When you're ready, inhale, kick the feet into your hands. Exhale, ground down through your belly. And inhale and reach the legs up towards the sky, letting the heart be drawn away from the floor. Trying to be neutral through your neck. Inhale and exhale and gently release. Hands come underneath the shoulders and push up and come to kneeling. Moving into Ardha Matsyendrasana, the half spinal twist. Take your bottom over to your left and pick up your right foot and take it over to the outside of your left knee. And just double check that you can get your right sitting bone down onto the floor. And then you're going to take your right hand behind you. Inhale and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're twisting to the right and bringing the left ribs over towards the right thigh.
Now step 1, you would hug this leg. Step 2, you bring the shoulder to the outside. And step 3, you work the shoulder, you close the gap between the armpit and your thigh and reach your hand down towards your knee. Just work to wherever you're comfortable, take what you can, and then settle. Sit deeply down into the ground as you breathe out. Lift tall as you breathe in. And then work to look over the right shoulder with the left eye, but no straining of the neck. And we twist a little bit deeper on each out-breath. On the in-breath, we look forward. And on the out-breath, release. Rolling back onto your knees. And then taking your bottom over to your right. Picking your left foot up and taking it just to the outside of the knee, lining shin and front of knee up. Again, just check you can get both sitting bones down into the earth. Once you're there, take your left hand behind you. Lean back, free your belly. Inhale, find length in your right waist. And with a strong out-breath, twist to your left. Taking your right shoulder to the outside, or hugging, if that feels better for you. Or if you can close the gap of your armpit and your leg, then you can probably make the hand down to the front foot. Sit tall, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, begin to twist to the left. I find this one particularly useful if I've been running or cycling. And it begins to get into that outer hip and the IT band area. As well as resetting the spine after your extension work in your 3 backward bends. It's hard to breathe deeply in here because you're constricting the chest, but try to. And enjoy the out-breath as a place of softening into the work. Breathe in and look forward, and breathe out and release. Then come back onto your knees. Moving into Kakasana, the crow, we turn the toes under and we float the knees off the mat. And we're coming high on the tippy toes, so lift the heels up over the ankles. Taking the knees apart, rest the inside of the knee on the first 4 inches of your upper arm, just above the elbow. And then you take the hands to the floor, shoulder width apart, and I subtly turn mine in so that when I bend my elbows, I've created a shelf for my inner knee to sit on. And then, again, lifting high through the instep, begin to lift the bottom up to the same height as the shoulder, doesn't need to go any higher. And then you push forward, taking the weight towards your fingertips. Claw the floor with your fingertips, and you may well find that if you squeeze the knees in and lift up through the back, you'll be able to float your feet off the floor. You can come onto a block with your feet, it helps some people, but the key action as you work through this is a rounding of your back and a pulling to your belly. So if you've come out of the work, take a rest. If you're still working towards it, then come back up with me a second time. First 4 inches above the elbows to the inner knee. Hands about 30 centimetres, 12 inches in front of the feet. Shoulder width apart. Turn the palms subtly in towards each other. Lift your bottom up to the same height as your shoulders, not higher,
and then come forward. Your gaze is a good 1/2 metre in front of your hands. Come forward, round the back, squeeze the knees into the arms and see if you can float one and then the other foot off the floor. And then release. Feet hip distance apart. Lift your bottom. Then take your hands and wrap them around the opposite elbows and hang your head in the frame of your arms. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Spread your toes wide on the floor. Releasing your hands, keeping the neck soft. Take a deep breath in. And coming to standing, lower the sitting bones. Curl around your belly, curl around your heart, curl around your throat, and bring yourself to standing. And then come into your standing forward bend. So the feet are hip distance apart. Some people say you have 2 fists between your feet. Hands to your hips, elbows back. There's enough energy in the legs to make your bones feel supported. So there's a light lifting up through the muscles of your legs. Inhale, open your chest, hollow the top of your groin, rolling the inner thighs in towards each other. And as you exhale, come forward over your legs. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see that in profile. Once you're there, you can take the hands to the backs of the legs, or you could take the big toe lock, wrapping the first 2 fingers around your big toes. My knees are bent because I've been for a run today and my hamstrings are a little tight. It may well be that you can work with your legs straight. Or you can work with a very subtle micro bend. That is not a micro bend. That's a locked knee, and that's a micro bend. So it's very subtle. Inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, pour yourself over your legs, hanging your head. On the in-breath, you lift from the inner knee, up through the inner thigh, up into the inner sitting bones, letting your bottom blossom behind you. And as you exhale, you let a wave of relaxation run down your back and just drip off the very crown of your head. Collarbones remain wide and the weight moves towards the balls of the feet and doesn't rock back into the heels. Toes are active and spreading. And the breath is so deep and so releasing. Releasing any expectation that you may have, any story that you may have around this shape. And enjoying the calming, settling qualities that happen in flexion, all of the forward bend work. On your next in-breath, look forward and extend. On your out-breath, knees are soft, hands come to the hips. Press down through the inner heels, coming up with a flat back, lifting the gaze, lifting the heart, straightening out the hips. Exhale and release. And so the final posture in the 12 asanas of the Shivananda sequence is triple Nassima. So we take the legs underneath the wrists when your arms are extended, and we turn the right foot out and push the left heel away from you. And then you bring your shoulders to line up parallel with the long side of your mat. There's a light lifting up through the muscles of the legs and a subtle micro bend in the front knee. Inhale, arms reach up to shoulder height.
And as you exhale, you extend over the right leg, getting as long in the right waist and the right arm as you can, and sending your tailbone down towards your back heel. Then take that hand down to wherever you're comfy. And then twist your upper body towards the ceiling and lift your left arm up. And in Shivananda, they work with the left arm parallel to the floor, extending from your armpit into your little finger, lifting the thumb higher than the little finger, so you're rotating the tricep in towards your cheek. Have your chin away from your chest, and use the out-breath to find some tone in the front of the abdomen and the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready to come up, you push down through your right foot, you inhale and lift up through the left arm. And then we'll go to the left. Left foot turns out, right heel goes away, shoulders parallel with the long side of the mat. Lightly lift up through the muscles of the legs to support your bones. On your out breath, lean to the left. Send your tailbone to your right heel. And then take the left hand down and reach your right arm up towards the sky before taking the right arm parallel to the floor, chin away from the chest, rolling the tricep into the cheek by extending into the little finger and lifting the thumb higher. Deep breath in and slow breath out. Again, finding tone in the lower abdomen and up through your pelvic floor at the bottom of each out breath. Push down through your left foot, inhale, reach up to standing. And then exhale and walk your feet back together. Well done. That's the 12 postures of the Shivananda sequence. So we'll come down to the floor for Shavasana. You take the legs apart, you let the feet relax out to the sides, and you take the arms away from the body and you turn your palms up to face the sky. Take a lovely deep breath in through the nose and settle with a sigh. And again. Draw your toes towards your shins. Lift your arms off the mat just by an inch or so. Make some tight, tight fists with your hands. Inhale, screw up the eyes, screw up the mouth, make the face really small. Breathe out and release by opening the eyes, sticking out the tongue, and relax the arms and the legs to the mat. And then we'll settle. Giving up any conscious attempts to organise the breath, just letting it rise and fall by itself. Feeling the support of the ground beneath us and trusting in the Mother Earth's embrace. Letting the edges of the eyes soften towards the ears. And your tongue to feel soft in your mouth and your throat. Front of the mind melting towards the back of the skull. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you.
deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the starry night to you. Sun, moon, stars pour their healing light upon you. Deep peace to you. As you come out of the work, take a lovely deep breath in and out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Enjoy a nice stretch. Notice which nostril, the left or the right, the flow of the breath is strongest. There's normally one that's dominant. And once you've realised that, bend your knees and roll to that side and just take a little rest here. And bring yourself slowly up to sitting. Sit tall. On an in-breath, take your hands up into the prayer position above your head. And as you exhale, you draw a prayer of peace and loving kindness down into your thoughts, into your words, and into your heart, giving it away into the world with a little bow. Namaste.
Teaching yoga is my vocation, my passion and my pleasure. As more folk look to be self-sufficient in their practice, I've been asked to create yoga classes online as a resource for you. This is only possible through your ongoing support and generosity. If you use them, love them and value them, then please consider supporting this work by a monthly subscription on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/yogawithemma. Like, share and subscribe the page with like-minded friends. Thank you for your support.